Ukrainian officials want the green light to strike targets in Russia with US weapons, saying they couldn't do anything about enemy troops massing nearby. Report.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian parliamentary officials are pushing the Biden administration to remove restrictions on Kyiv striking targets in Russian territory with its arsenal of US weapons, Politico reported. Ukraine knew for weeks that Russia was massing troops at the border, with intelligence officials saying in early May that Moscow was gathering some 50,000 to 70,000 personnel there. Washington-based think tank Institute for the Study of War concurred in a Sunday assessment that Russia was able to advance in Kharkiv due to the strike ban for NATO weapons. Russian offensive efforts to seize Vovchansk are in large part a consequence of the tacit Western policy that Ukrainian forces cannot use Western-provided systems to strike legitimate military targets within Russia, it wrote. Ukraine has been attacking targets beyond the border, more recently on Russia's oil facilities, but only with its own drones. Washington and its allies fear that allowing Ukraine to attack Russian soil with Western equipment would cross a red line with Moscow. The US recently earmarked some $25.7 billion in military equipment and weapons for Ukraine as part of a new $61 billion tranche of aid that was held back for months in Congress.
This post received a score of 14,000. With an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Scratch off the VIN and fire away.
These weapons were gifted to Ukraine? Those are Ukrainian weapons.
But if Ukraine needs more weapons, they need to be careful about US needs.
We need Russia to stop trying to be the USSR and trying to take over Eastern Europe.
Russia is using North Korean and Iranian munitions to attack Ukraine. That didn't pull those countries into the war.
The implication that Russia is a good faith actor here. Not that the US is, necessarily, but they damn sure aren't.
Yeah, not sure the brownie points from taking the high road is actually saving any Ukrainian lives, unfortunately.
How about if they go ahead, and we just express our concern, and the urgent need for them to stop?
That's basically what they did with the refinery attacks. The US doesn't support that. Ukraine should focus on troops. Also, here are more of the drones, bombs that are being used to attack refineries.
Except calling refineries civilian targets, which don't sounds like they were okay with it.
Man, we sure have rapidly disassembled a ton of civilian targets then. Must be selective memory on our part.
That is what the most egregious about such statement. Another quote from this statement was, "Good thing the US is not European democracy, so they don't follow or need to follow such standards, it seems." However you put it, it was hypocritical.
It's so dumb that this restriction exists at all. What's the point? Why is it escalatory for Ukraine to do what Russia has been doing this entire time? It makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense. Russia aren't using the weapons they bought from Iran, China, India and in Korea to strike inside Ukraine, so US weapons shouldn't be used to strike inside Russia. Wait a min.
What if, right, now stay with me here. What if they took off the stickers that say, Made in the USA?
Put a sticker that says, Made in China.
Put, Made in Russia, to really confuse them.
Made in USSR. Russia shouldn't be the only ones using outdated weapons.
I'm sure they've got some rifles and machine guns kicking around from the Imperial Tsarist era.
I argue they are currently in a Tsarist imperialist era. Putin has compared himself multiple times to Peter the Great.
Well, looks like it worked. Unless there will be precedent, I won't take this statement seriously. It is not the first time they said something along those lines. Not to mention US disabled HIMARS from targeting Russian territory from what I remember, and that is what he says too. We have not encouraged or enabled strikes outside of Ukraine. This doesn't mean there are no restrictions or consequences for doing that either.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.